everyone, how are you? It is Mary and welcome to my channel. Today is Friday, February 13th, 2026. And I thought I'd give you a quick update. I'm sorry if I'm talking really fast, but my husband will call me any minute. But I got a lot of exciting things to show you. I worked on 5 projects. I got 2 small finishes. And I've got some plans that I wanted to share with you, as well as my top picks on the Just Cross Stitch magazine. If you're interested, that'll be towards the end. Just my take on my taste and what I think is super cute. And if you want to join me, if you say, hey, I want to stitch that too, that would be amazing. So when we left off, I was telling you that I was working on Durene Jones. And this, I got a printed picture of what it's going to look like. And it's really, really cute. This is called Christmas Sampler. Now, I don't know if it was in a magazine. Sorry, I ate a Triscuit and it's all in my mouth. But I bought it on Etsy. I buy all her patterns on Etsy because I don't always get the Cross Stitcher magazine or some of the magazines that she's in. But I just thought it was really cute. And at first I was kind of dragging my heels, but now I have it in Pattern Keeper. And what I do is I click on the symbol, and if it's close, I'll work on it. So I did a lot. I ended up stitching 1,439 stitches, and I'm at 71.1%. And I wish I knew what the percentage was before. I think it was like 67. So I did pretty substantial progress on it. And I even ironed everything for today. So there you go. Okay. The lighting is terrible today. It's partly cloudy, so I apologize if it's not that good. But there you go. So I worked a little bit on the middle section because I know that was really heavy. And I did the snowman. All of that is completed, but his coal for the ice. And I'm going to work on this next. I'm going to work on that one and get that done, and then concentrate on the middle section because that's the stitch heavy part, because the other side will be easy, a lot easier. So I'm not really sure. This is something I want to finish this year. Don't know what I'm going to get to it. Probably definitely in July. And then I don't know if I'll do anything before that. And then if I have to do it, you know, a couple months afterwards to get this done, I'm going to play it by ear, how many weeks I think it will take it to get done. I don't necessarily have to have it done for December. I just want it done by December 31st. So we'll see. We'll see. Okay, the next thing that I did and I completed last weekend, I was hoping to do it, you know, have it completed on the 7th because that was my anniversary. But I got it done on the 8th, and I'm really pleased with it. Especially now that the blue and the white, you know, at first I wasn't sure that I liked the colors because the pink and the mauve is so close together. But because the background is kind of a darker, I think it's okay. And especially once I fully finish it, maybe within the next decade. Things are piling up, but I just don't have the space or time to do it. But there you go. So this was the freebie, the Primrose Cottage. If you had our newsletter, you see a lot of people stitching it. And that was very generous of them. I like their patterns a lot. So thank you for the pattern, and it was a joy to stitch. The next thing that I worked on, and I deemed this my Friday whip, so for February. And I'm going to see how close I get. And naturally, if I'm super duper close, then I'll power through on the weekends because I definitely want this one done this year. And this is Manatees. So it's out of the Stony Creek Sea and Sun leaflet. This is what they're going to look like. Now, the only thing I'm not going to do is the back stitch, and I don't like the circled ones. I only like the seaweed, so I'm not going to do those. So that's going to even make it faster to have a finish. And I'm really excited because I'm almost done with the one right there. And I think today that one will definitely be finished. Sorry, I'm trying to get a piece of paper because this lighting is terrible today. So there you go. Isn't he cute? So I worked on the other one because if I had color on my needle, I just tried to look to see how I could get rid of it, you know, because I hate because a lot of this stuff is blended and everything. And so I tried to finish what's on my needle. And then the back stitch is really going to make it amazing. So I do like back stitch. I really think it makes things pop. So I'm not afraid of the back stitch. But I typically like to put it at the end. Okay. So the next thing I worked on was Funny Bunny. This was my 4-day-a-week project, my primary project for the week. This is what it looks like. It's a kit from Riolis, my first kit from them, and I love it. I could understand why people like working with acrylic because it gives it so much dimension, you know, because sometimes there is a lot of blending between the two. Then you have where you have to put two strands of the same color on a needle, and sometimes you put one strand of a color on a needle. But the effect is amazing. So even with not being able to stitch a lot yesterday, I completed 1,500 stitches. Sorry, it's so awkward, like I said. And I finished the top part of that bunny right there. And I'm working on the gray one that's to the left of it. And my hopes is to pull this out in April because it's spring. And to finish that page, which is the top part of the gray bunny and the rest of the flowers and leaves on that side. And I'm doing that on 14 count Ada that I purchased. And I don't know off the top of my head, but it's a printed blue. Okay. Okay. So, I just finished this, literally, maybe half an hour ago. So, I started this on Sunday because I just finished Sweet Sayins, and I was like, okay. And I was scrolling through Instagram, and there was so many cute patterns, but I'm like, okay, this one I got drawn to. I have the magazine, so I was like, okay. You know, it's funny how sometimes you think things are like, and then when you see somebody stitch it, you're like, okay, yeah, I think I would like that. So the one I'm talking about, and it's not even in my top 5, but I'm happy I did it, is for the Just Cross Stitch Winter 2025 issue. Okay, that's the cover. And it's on page 50, and it's called Sweetheart from December Stitches. And what I like about this is you could do anything you want, any color combination. And so that is a great motivator. Okay, so I rummaged through my stash and I'm like, okay, what do I have? I had some 20 count Ada. And thank goodness I have my little headlight because I love 20 count Ada. I thought, wow, that's really nice. It makes the The stitching is beautiful. The coverage is fantastic. I can understand why people like it and like 40 count. I think I could possibly do it in splurts. You know, like I would consider buying 20 count again. I don't think I could just do it for hours though, but I'm going to put that on my, I'm going to buy next time I splurge. So I had this pink from a project I did last year, which was from Cherry Hill Stitchery. And I pulled out my floss. So this is an old Mo sale. It's called Plum Journey. And this is the colors. And I always say I'm going to do reds, but you know, I thought about it. And you know why I always gravitate towards pinks and purples? Well, a number of things. I'll tell you a cute little story. When I was a little girl, my bedroom, my mother, I vividly remember we had wallpaper on one side and it was a floral. And that's probably what my love of flowers is. And it was different pinks and purples and it was really pretty. And then she painted the rest of the room and I think it was a purple. Not only that, and it kind of reminds me of my childhood, but my wedding colors was a deeper color than that. It was a deep eggplant purple. And because it was so dark, like when my sister did my bouquet, she did it for me. We did little accents of like a deep rose, like a mauve pink. So that's why I think I gravitate towards those colors when I do Valentine stitching. You know, but I'm not sad about it. But at any rate, those are the stories I wanted to tell y'all. But this is what I did. So I used that for the hearts, and then I didn't want to do it for the lettering because I thought it would be way too busy. So I pulled out 208, DMC 208, and I did the lettering. And it's going to be, make a cute little pillow one day. So yeah, 20 count. Very, very pretty. Very, very happy with it. So, in case you want to know what I'm doing, my plans for this weekend is to work on my U.S. Air Force. That's going to be my weekend stitching, but I already know that I'm not going to do a whole lot at a time because A, it's on navy, and it's dark, and B, it's metallic, and I don't want to lose my mind. So at the same time, I think I'm going to still work on some Valentine stitching. This one, I was debating on whether I was going to do it. I do have enough fabric that I cut out that I might do this one. I was looking at a Flosstuber, Abby Rose, and she's so cute. She's from the UK, and she's doing a series in February called Lovey Dovey. And she asked us to pick out 28 or 15, no, it was like 14, because she wanted to try to finish them. So 14 projects, and she does it on the random spin here, and she did this one, and she finished it in one day. And it looks so cute now that it's finished. So I think I'm going to do this one because this should be a quick start and finish. Love Grows. And it is by Lucy Lax Designs. So this is in the same issue and it's the next page over. So it's on page 52. I'm just going to do white even weave and I'll pull out some colors and away you go. And then the other one, Sharon, my buddy Sharon from Magnolianana, she knows that it's getting better, but with my husband, I was under a lot of stress And so she sent me this free pattern with a sweet note and the color conversion that Seashore Stitcher did for us. She did Seashore Stitcher finished this one a couple weeks ago. And this is from Sullivan's. You could get it on their website. And it's called Rainbow Heart. So you know I love a good heart. And I love flowers. So I was like, oh my gosh, I need this in my life. So I'm going to work on this as well. And I should finish this month at some point. So if you want the color conversion, you can look at Seashore Stitcher. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time saying that. I think because I'm thirsty. But yeah. And she has the color conversion because you could do it yourself. But Sullivan numbers on their floss is to convert it to DMC is kind of a chore. Okay. And then I'm going to pull out for my focus, my 4-day a week, I'm going to pull out Foxglove Fairy because I want to get her done so bad. So that's what I'm going to do next week. So you got to let me know, what are you going to stitch next week? What are your plans or your hopes? Okay, so I am going to go, since I didn't do it last time and I'm just starting to get into videos again, I'm going to show you my 5 picks for this magazine and my honorable mention. That way, I mean, I practically did a flip through because I did two projects that I'm doing. They're all beautiful. They're all wonderful. And we all have different tastes. These are just the ones I could see myself right now stitching. So the first one is on page 13. It's from Tranquil Tree Designs, and it's called House Hunting. And I think it's so cute. And that fabric is gorgeous. And it's just simple. You know, sometimes with winter, you know, I don't think I could handle a whole lot of white stitching like some of the projects do. I think I would be out of my mind bored. But this is just charming. And it has a little bird, and it's the birdhouse, and it's got trees, and I love trees. And it just spoke to me on a lot of levels. Okay. The next one, I've seen some people stitch it. I think there was some complaints about it, but I still like it. And I think I will probably end up doing it at some point. And it's from the same designer, Tranquil Tree Designs. It's on page 17. And it's called Mr. Bird. I mean, look at that sweet face. And I like how it's a close-up instead of the whole snowman body, because you can find that a lot of places. But it's like taking a snapshot of your friendly snowman. So cute. Okay, the next one, I should have known I was going to love it. This is full coverage. And even though there's white, there's so many other colors going on in this. I'm in love with it. And it's called Moonlit Snowfall. And it's from Wrought Iron Stitching. And I do like her designs. And isn't that absolutely gorgeous with the golden browns and the blues? It just makes that white pop. So yeah. I typically don't like a lot of winter stitching because it's boring. But this is just eye-catching. It's just gorgeous. Okay. My honorable mention is, and I didn't put the page, I'm such a nerd. Why did I not do the page? Sorry. Let's see. It's from Pickle Barrel Designs, if I can find it. Let's pass this. Okay. It's a Valentine's one, and it's called Perfect Match. And I just thought it was so cute. I love animals. I'm not a cat person, I'm more of a dog person. But there's so many cute cat stitching patterns. I'm going to stitch the cats. You got me on that. So this is super cute. She makes cute designs. Pickle Barrel. Yeah. So that's my honorable mention. Okay, the next one. This one, when I looked at it, I was like, it is absolutely gorgeous. I love this so much. And it is on page 57. And it's artwork adapted for cross stitch by La Petite Croix de Lucie. And I hope I'm saying that right. But isn't she absolutely gorgeous? Those eyes. It's just so beautiful. So if you like stitching like Victorian things, that's going to be on my list to stitch for sure. And then last but not least, it's on page 69. And if you like a good stitching pattern, I thought this was cute. It's called A Great Day, and it's by Century Farm Stitching. And it looks like a fast, cute stitch. Adore. So that's for the winter one. And now I'll give you what I liked. It was so hard to choose. The spring issue is jam-packed, I think. I love every single one of them, but I had to narrow it down. So this is the cover of the newest Just Cross Stitch, the Spring 2026. And I know other people have done a flip through. This is just the ones that stood out to me. So I'm going to give you, the first one is going to be the honorable mention, and I kind of flip between the two. And if you follow Kate on Facebook, you will know that she has a new truck that's getting released called Lucky Farm. But this is called Tulip Truck. And isn't it beautiful? So this is by Cute Embroidery by Kate. And if you follow her on Facebook, she is so generous with free designs, and she has super cute. And I'm usually not a truck person, like I don't gravitate towards that. But how can I not like the tulips in a plaid truck? Like, it's gonna happen, probably. The next one, I do drink coffee. I'm a big coffee drinker. Our entire house is. And so this one spoke to me. It spoke to me because it's so simple. You could stitch it on anything you want, one color, and it kind of reminds me of a vintage, 1960, when they used to stitch like that. And this is called Bold Coffee by Cozy Cabin Stitching. And I know for a fact one person has already stitched it, and it looks so cute. So that, you could do, I think they did 838 on just some 14 count Aida. And you could do variegated brown. There's so many things that you could do. You could flip it. I was thinking about doing maybe a brown Aida, or even, with like ecru floss. Anything you want. I kind of like designs like that where you can choose what colors you want sometimes. Okay, the next one is on page 40. And this is a vintage Easter design. It's absolutely gorgeous. I really like Elizabeth Spurlock by St. Grace Fine Needle Art. Her designs are beautiful. And this is no different. Isn't that gorgeous? Sometimes she'll take like old postcards or vintage signs and create a cross stitch pattern for that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so gorgeous. She's very talented, very, very talented. Okay, the next one that really spoke to me is this one. It's called Fledgling's First Pick, and it's by Haunted Frames. And you know what? If you didn't like the square and you wanted to put in a hoop, you could easily just not do this part and just do the middle, because that's where it spoke to me anyway. The yellow bird with a hat. I mean, it's just so adorable. I mean, yeah. Okay, and last but not least, I love this pattern. This is just right up my alley. And it's called Floral Butterfly, and it's from Jenny Barton from JB Designs. And I love butterflies, flowers, you name it. Look how gorgeous that is. I got some kitting up to do because this whole issue was jam-packed of gorgeous designs. So I hope you enjoyed that little flip through. You need to let me know if there's anything that you're gonna stitch that we could stitch together, or that you would consider, or just, if you liked what I picked out. So that's it for now. I want to thank you all for stopping by, and I will see you in a couple weeks. Take care and happy stitching.